Steve has carried out all of our, over the course of a number of years that we've had Project 81, which goes back to 2011 to 2012. All of our airborne airborne surveys. And consequently, there's been a tremendous amount of trust that's been built up between both Steve Balch and myself. And Steve was responsible for introducing me to Mark over a coffee up in Brampton, sometime, I can't remember, a number of years ago, 3-4 years ago, wherein he looked at where Mark was introduced by Steve to something that might be of interest to forming a Canada Nickel on the basis of the preliminary results that came out of the copper drilling from Spruce. And consequently, we entered into a prolonged negotiation as to how the Canada Nickel Company would be spun out of Noble to the Noble shareholders, whereby the Noble shareholders would have been created additional, at that time, was about $40-50 million in value across the board, on top of whatever market cap we had at that time. And now, obviously, that is not the case today when that stock has come off from $3-4 a share to $1 a share. But notwithstanding that, it was an idea that putting that company together made all kinds of sense. And consequently, the relationship that I have with Mark, I consider to be excellent. And I think he has a fairly high regard for me, for Noble, for the fact that we've been able to pull these various strings together over the course of a number of years that have been to our collective benefit, really, when it comes right down to it. Notwithstanding that valuations you may be getting in the marketplace at this point in time. My attitude has always been to say, okay, what's the valuation of the asset in the ground? And if the valuation of the asset in the ground is well in excess, notwithstanding the fact that there's ways of discounting it back and all the rest of the sort of stuff. If the asset valuation in the ground is well in excess of whatever the market capitalization is of the company that's involved, then there's going to be a swing at some point in time that's going to narrow that gap.